My mom passed away in 2016, and that was a really difficult period of my life. But I think after finally coming to terms with the fact that, okay, I've lost my mom, she's not here anymore, there came a stage in my life where I didn't know how to comfort or how to help myself when I was distressed or when I was sad or when I was in pain, because I was always so used to getting that from others. I was so used to getting that from my mom, for example. Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sodatu, aka Bint Fatima. Today I'm going to be talking about self-compassion. I'm going to be defining self-compassion as well as talking about self-criticism and talking about how self-compassion fits into the bigger picture of learning to love ourselves and being on the journey of getting to know ourselves and love ourselves more. Okay, so earlier this week, before I get into the video, earlier this week I posted a vlog and I'll put like a timestamp here if you want to skip all this stuff and just go straight to the talk. So earlier this week I posted a vlog, and the vlog was just like me baking bread and just doing nothing really. But the reason why I decided to post it was because that Saturday I wasn't feeling too good. I wasn't too happy. Like Friday I had a really rough Friday, so Saturday I decided I'm gonna do like a self-care thing and decided to take you guys with me. I really hope you guys like that vlog. It was my first time shooting on my iPhone, which is new, and so I was still working on the editing. I had a lot of people tell me that the volume was too low, so I'll try and make sure to be mindful of that, inshallah, moving forward. But I am thinking of starting to upload every Monday, like a vlog style, or maybe like a cook with me or clean with me or learn something new with me. Let me know what you guys are interested in getting to see on my channel. Inshallah, I'll try to do like an Instagram story where I ask for video ideas that you guys would like to see. So Mondays would be like reaction videos or things unrelated to me just sitting and talking. I'd probably be like moving around or doing other things. So please let me know you're interested in it. Inshallah, I'll be working on that. Oh, also, if you're here, how are you? How's your week? Are you taking good care of yourself? Are you staying hydrated? If you're new here, please hit on that subscribe button. Also hit on the bell notification button so that way you can be notified every single time that I post, inshallah. And let's get right into this video. So this video idea came from a conversation that I was having with a friend of mine. Several conversations I've actually been having with different friends, but mainly with this one friend, where we were talking about how during the time of the coronavirus, we've had to kind of all been forcefully left alone and to deal with ourselves and our emotions and our thoughts, and wherever we are on our journey of life, we've had to like take time to step back and reflect because of the coronavirus forcing us to be quarantined and be in the house, most likely not by ourselves but with ourselves, kind of thing. So we also talked about like reflection and how it's important to like get to know ourselves a little bit more during this time. It's important for us to give ourselves time to get to know who we are, what we want in life, what it is that we aim for, aspire to be, all those kinds of things. And one thing that came up in our conversation was a conversation about self-love and a conversation about like self-acceptance, self-compassion. And it reminded me of when I was in college. I had led like a mini, it was called Open Spaces. It was like an hour-long like little talk thing, informal, that was led by students and was attended by other students. And one of the topics that I remember leading was on self-compassion and on self-forgiveness and things of that nature. Today I'm going to focus specifically on self-compassion, and I was thinking to make this like a series since it's the first Friday of the month. I wanted to do like a series where we sit down and we talk about things related to self-love, self-acceptance, our journey of just self-discovery. And so this Friday will be the first time, inshallah, that I'm posting, and I'm hoping to do this every single first Friday of the month. If you guys are interested in that, if that sounds like something that you would be definitely down for, please let me know in the comment section down below. Sorry if the lighting's changing. There's just a lot of clouds outside. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. So first I want to start out by saying that I did not know about self-compassion till college. The week that I was supposed to prepare for this Open Spaces was when I also researched what self-compassion was and stumbled upon this really amazing article that I'll link down below, inshallah, that was written by 3 psychologists, and they were talking about the difference between self-criticism and self-compassion and the benefits of having self-compassion. So of course, as a Muslim, I feel like we hear the word compassion all the time, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, he's the most compassionate. But I'm not sure if we embody the same, like, because I know I've heard this before where I went to a class, an Al-Maghrib class, which if you don't know what Al-Maghrib is, it's just like they offer classes all around the country with different shuyukh, different scholars. And I went to an Al-Maghrib class that was called His Majesty. And the class was on the 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it was led by Sheikh Amar Shukri. If I can find his YouTube channel or things that he posts on here, I'll link it down below. But he was talking about how, like, one of the benefits of learning the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that we should be able, or one of the reasons why we should learn the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is because we should be able to also manifest those characteristics in ourselves. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-wadud, he's the most loving, so we too should be loving. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ar-Rahman, he is merciful, he's compassionate, so we should also be merciful and compassionate towards others. But I think rarely do we ever think I should be loving, caring, compassionate towards myself. Like, maybe it's not something that we sit and think about, but I'm not sure if it's something that, like, we conscientiously sit there and are like, okay, let me be loving towards myself, let me be compassionate towards myself. I think especially if you're growing up as a minority, or you've grown up in a society that is like the society that we're in now, where you're always led to compare yourself to other people, you don't really take time to sit back, look at yourself, and give yourself credit for things, or love yourself for who you are, or accept yourself for who you are. I know I've always been personally a super self-critical person. I'm not sure exactly where that self-criticism started, but there was an age in my life where I just started being extremely self-critical. And in case you don't know what self-criticism is, and I didn't know before either, I'm just going to be reading off of what the article had said. They were saying that self-criticism includes engaging in constant and harsh self-scrutiny and evaluation. Usually it leads to feelings of unworthiness, inferiority, and failure, and it also leads to you being afraid of being criticized by other people or losing the approval of other people, which literally fits the description of what I was for years, okay? Maybe until like the past year, 2 years or so. I was a very self-critical human being. And of course, like, as a Muslim, if you're watching this, you're probably like,
yeah, no, but we are supposed to scrutinize ourselves. We are. Like, we're Muslim. Hello, we need to take accountability for our actions. Okay, did you?
No, I didn't forget. but like, I think there's a difference between taking accountability for your actions, which I believe Islam implores us to do that, and being like scrutinizing yourself to the point where you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe that you're worthy of goodness or kindness or love or forgiveness, where you start being very afraid of other people's opinions rather than worrying about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala views you and how you yourself view yourself. Yeah, so that's that on self-criticism. And the reason why I brought up self-criticism is because I feel like when I learned what self-compassion is, I feel like self-compassion is the complete opposite of self-criticism. And self-compassion, according to the article, is treating yourself with care and concern when confronted with personal inadequacies, mistakes, failures, and painful life experiences or life situations. So this means reacting to painful life situations, reacting to failure, reacting to making mistakes with kindness, like they defined it as self-kindness, which is showing yourself warmth, and accepting yourself rather than like immediately attacking yourself. And then the other thing is humanity, like recognizing that you are a human being. And the last part is mindfulness. So I'm going to try and go into each of those three. I'm not an expert. I'm just speaking from my own experiences, okay? So with self-kindness, again, the whole thing about like being warm with yourself. I grew up with parents that were extremely warm and loving and kind. I was always hugged up with my mom. My dad treated me like a princess, all that kind of stuff, alhamdulillah. Like, so that made it so that I sought love and warmth from others, and I never really thought I myself needed it for myself because other people provided it for me. But when my mom passed away in 2016, and that was a really difficult period of my life, and there was like maybe a year or so where I literally don't even know what I was experiencing, what I was going through. But I think after finally coming to terms with the fact that, okay, I've lost my mom, she's not here anymore, there came a stage in my life where I didn't know how to comfort or how to help myself when I was distressed or when I was sad or when I was in pain, because I was always so used to getting that from others. I was so used to getting that from my mom, for example, right? And so there came a time in my life where I did end up starting to like go to therapy, and my school, alhamdulillah, like had free therapy as long as you were a student. And my therapist was amazing. And I feel like going to therapy gave me the tools that I needed so that I could be able to learn to be kind to myself, learn to be warm, learn to be accepting of myself rather than attacking myself, like the article was stating. And another thing that I also learned, which I feel like all of us know this, but we don't really put it into practice, is like that we're human at the end of the day. So they mentioned like humanity. So recognizing that you're a human being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us himself that we're not perfect. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna mess up. We're gonna say the wrong thing. We're gonna do something that we regret because we're human, and that is part of our nature. And I think like recognizing that humanity in yourself makes it so that you're not beating yourself up when you make a mistake, because you recognize that, hey, I'm a human being. It comes with the package. Like, you know what I mean? It comes with the package. Yeah, I messed up. That's cool. I'm gonna just keep it moving, inshallah. So I think that's really important. And then the last part that so sorry if I'm going too fast. So self-kindness includes being warm and accepting towards yourself rather than attacking or berating yourself when you do make a mistake, when you do fail at something, when you're confronted with a painful or difficult situation. And then humanity is recognizing that you are a human being, and what comes with being a human being is making mistakes and facing challenges. And once you recognize that, it also takes away that feeling of like isolation, that feeling of like, oh, I'm the only one who does this. I'm the only one who look at me, I'm the only one who continues to make this mistake over and over and over. Like, it makes you also recognize that there are other human beings, like 7 billion other human beings on this earth, and they also make mistakes. If there's not 7 billion, if there's more than 7 billion human beings, I'm gonna feel real dumb, and I'm just gonna edit this part out. And then the last part is mindfulness. So just being aware of your painful experiences in a balanced way. So not ignoring them completely, but also not exaggerating them to the point where it's like you can't get past it. So, and I think that's something that like I said, since losing my mom and since having to kind of relearn how to love myself and relearn how to accept myself for who I am and what I am and my process of becoming who I am, I've had to practice mindfulness a lot more often than I used to. When I was younger, I used to keep a diary, and my diary was really like, when I look back on things that I wrote, like, I would write the dumbest things, like, oh, my brother is singing Beyonce. Like, why was that necessary? But now I feel like I keep a diary, and it was a gift given to me actually by one of my old bosses, and I keep that diary kind of just like to do self check-ins, to check in when I do make a mistake, or when I do have a failure, or when I am faced with challenges. I do a self check-in, like, how am I feeling in that moment? Where are these feelings coming from? Why do I feel them, or why do I think I feel them? Are these ideas my own? Is it something someone else has said to me? Have I consulted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about the situation? Have I talked to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Have I prayed about it? Have I asked for counsel about it? And all those things really help, and all that is part of self-compassion, I believe. Like, is that you're checking in on yourself, you're making sure you're okay, because like at the end of the day, it's you with you and you and you. Like, it's gonna be you and you to the end of time. You know what I mean? Like, people are gonna come in and out of your lives. People are gonna have seasons in your life, but you will always be with you. Just learning to be more loving, more compassionate towards yourself is really important. And I just wanted to have that talk. I don't know if it was helpful. I don't know if it was all over the place, or if you guys got what I was trying to say. And this is, of course, like, I'm barely scratching the surface. I'm not an expert in this area. I'm just speaking from my experiences, just speaking from what I've gained from life and what has benefited me. And I hope that you guys will read this article, inshallah. It was really helpful to me when I read it, and that it brings goodness to you. If you guys didn't know, I was a psychology major in college. I'm not gonna say I was the best psychology student, but I really, really, really loved psychology. I really love the study of the human mind, and the same way that we study the human body, and there's medicine and there's doctors and everything like that. Like, I think psychology should be given the same amount of importance, because our physical bodies are important, but so are our minds, so are our brains, our mental health, our emotional health, our well-being, and everything like that. So yeah, that is why I wanted to talk about this. Like, I just feel like it's something that I'm kind of sort of super passionate about, and and inshallah, I hope you guys benefited from it. Again, I hope you guys are staying safe and sound and nice and warm. It's a little bit chilly, but I don't know if it's because it's actually cold or because I have anemia, because my hands literally feel like popsicles right now, like ice.
My heart's so cold, I think I'm done with iceberg. If I leave it, she's gonna you done.
Okay, so that is it for me today. Please comment down below. Let me know your experiences with self-criticism, self-compassion, how you're learning to be more self-compassionate. What resources do you use to uplift yourself? How do you check in on yourself? How have you been using this time of quarantine to reflect, to get to know yourself? Let me know down in the comment section below. And again, if you're not already, please subscribe to my channel. Lightly tap on that subscribe button. Also click on the bell notification so that way you can be notified every single time that I post. Please like this video so that I know that you liked it, and also so YouTube knows that you liked it, and maybe the algorithms can do stuff for me so I could, like, you know, prosperous. You can follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, or Pinterest. I'm pretty consistent on Instagram, not so much on Tumblr and Pinterest, but if you want to check those out, you can, inshallah. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace and love. Assalamu alaikum.